Hey everybody, welcome back to another multimeter review. A cheapo multimeter review at that. Today in the firing line, we're looking at another brand new meter. This is the MESTEK DM91. It's a 10,000 count true RMS multimeter, and boy is it feature packed. Yeah, this is a really feature packed multimeter, and it's one of the first multimeters. In fact, I will go on record to say it is the first multimeter that I have ever come across that actually does two things. The first thing is it can measure capacitance up to a whopping 100 millifarad, 100,000 microfarad. That's the first thing. Second thing, it also measures resistance up to 100 mega ohm. I have never seen another multimeter, and correct me if I'm wrong, that can do this, that has that high capacitor range for those two test measurements. 100 millifarad, 100 mega ohm. Find me another meter that does the same. That's really, really cool. So what do you get in the proverbial box? Well, that's a darn good question. You get the box. Yeah, it's actually a fairly decent box. It's cardboard, small, and has a really pretty picture of that DM91. Ooh, yeah. What else do you get? Well, you get a set of leads, of course. These are a fairly decent looking. They have MESTEK branded red on them, and they have the CE logo. Not that that really means a whole lot. Rating wise, 10 amps, 600 volt Cat 3. That's what you're looking at. Now they do have these protector tips, and they come off nice and easy, and they're pretty sharp. The gauge of the wire is fairly decent. It's actually a little on the thick side. Generally speaking, I like these leads, at least the way they feel. Are they any good test-wise? Well, we'll soon find out, but at least they are shipping you a fairly good set of cheapo leads. You also get a user manual. It's all in English, quite verbose, has nice settings of all the displays, and it's not on that El Cheapy, you know, really almost like toilet paper. Sometimes you get these manuals written on, but no, this is actually really nice quality, and I like it. Looking at the meter itself, well, kind of sexy. You know, it's got that ooh so nice black boot, and it just kind of looks refined, I gotta say. You know, there seems to be a trend towards certain styles of multimeters now, at least the cheapo ones, and you know, I'm sort of on the fence. I do like it. I like what I see. In fact, I'll take out another one here, the Win Apex ET8101, one of my favorite meters so far. And as you can see, now by the way, I did change the boot on the ET8101. This has a little magnetic holder in the back. It does ship with a black boot, much like the MESTEK. So if you can just picture this as being black, you will see the whole sort of aesthetic appeal pretty well the same. You have your range buttons on top, you have the nice sort of receding selector switch. The general ergonomics are quite the same. You've got this little indent here for your hands. Display wise, if we look at them, oh, we're in live voltage mode, we'll take that off for a second. Display wise, yeah, pretty similar. Slightly larger digits on the MESTEK. But yeah, you know, I think there's a certain trend toward a style, and yeah, it's nice. I like it. It's not too big, not too small. Sort of just fits handy dandy. In fact, I think we'll keep this guy out for a little bit, and we'll just compare how they are in terms of the look. So, in terms of the actual selector switch itself, yeah, it's nice clickety-click, clackety-clack, no complaints here. And it just feels good. Now, I said this meter is packed with features, and doggone it, I ain't kidding. This thing is like the mother load. Is there such a word for a multimeter? This thing is like the mother load of features. To start off, we have NCV. It's your non-contact voltage, and this is kind of a gimmick, I think, but it's on every cheapo multimeter these days. it has. It also has something live. For me, it's much the same as NCV, only it's going to basically tell you whether or not you have a live line, and we'll show you how that works shortly as well. You probe it with one of the probes. Of course, we have volts AC DC. We have our diode testing and continuity, which we will test out shortly. Resistance, 100 mega ohm. Capacitance, 100 millifarad, 100,000 microfarad. Oh, I like the sounds of that. Heading down, we have our separate battery tester. What this is, 9 volt, 1.5 volt. Basically, it puts a load on the battery, and if the battery is starting to die, this will pretty well tell you to throw it in the garbage. Well, don't do that. You got to recycle it, right? Got to be friendly these days. Down on the amps mode, current-wise, we have microamps, AC/DC, milliamps, AC/DC, and our venerable amps, AC/DC. Another really cool feature with this multimeter is it has a verbose indicator if your fuse is dead. Yeah, if it's lights out in Georgia, this meter is going to let you know, and we're going to show you how that works shortly. Now, I said the overall feel, the chassis is quite nice, quite solid. Ain't going anywhere. The boot, at first it looks like it's part of the mold, but it actually does come off. Yeah, there we go, baby. Look at that. And once it's off, it kind of looks a lot like a lot of the other meters. I'm just trying to get the boot off. Another one behind the camera here. So you see, once again, you do have that really similar look. Now, weight-wise, yeah, they're pretty well the same. In fact, hey, let's measure them. Alrighty, guys, it's that time again. It's the voltage test. We need to have some music here. Voltage test. Okay, got to work on that. Now, on the left, we've got the WinApex ET8101. On the right, we have the MESTEK DM91A. Let's see how they compare, guys. Here we go. Taking it up to a whopping 5.3 volts, 5.4 for the WinApex, 5.4 for the MESTEK. Yeah, let's bring it up to 10 volts, see how we are. Can we get 10 right on the money? Right on the money, honey? Come on. Don't be shy. Don't let 10 volts walk on by. There we go. 10 volts even. Well, maybe not. Okay. 10.04, 10.03 according to the WinApex. 10.03 according to the MESTEK. Pretty close, pretty close. Taking it up slower. Now there is no graph scale on either of these El Cheapo multimeters, but that's okay. Now on the left you see the WinApex still has that nice bright backlight. On the right, the MESTEK, the light has gone out. Yeah, because it doesn't stay on all the time, MESTEK. Okay, we're at 15.2 volts, 15.3 showing on the WinApex, 15.3 on the MESTEK. So far so good, guys. Taking up to 25 volts even, Steven. 25 volts even, 25.09 for the MESTEK. I'm sorry, 25.12 for the MESTEK, 25.10 for the WinApex. And we're going to max it out now. This is an incredibly expensive DC power supply. 31.49 volts for the WinApex and 31.51. So you can see they're pretty well spot on. The MESTEK, perhaps maybe 1 or 2 counts higher than the WinApex, but yeah, they are even Steven. Ah yes, it's that time again, the time where capacitors need to be tested. I love it. Now this MESTEK has a great capacitance range. Like I said, it's one of the only multimeters I've ever seen, I don't care, new, old, that does both 100 millifarad as well as 100 mega ohm. I don't know of any other meter that can do this. Unfortunately, we do have a strike Canada Post here in Canada, and I'm waiting on a slew of goodies, stuff that now I should have received months ago, and nothing has come in. It's just coming in trickles. One of the things I had ordered is a nice high rating 100 millifarad capacitor, which is at this point, God knows where. But it's not on my bench. So at least we're going to test 47,000 microfarad. today, and we'll see. I mean, that's only the capability that MESTEK is capable of, because it does go up to 100 millifarad, 100,000 microfarad. So yeah, let's try it out. Let's see how fast it is to get to 47,000 microfarad. Okay, guys, are you ready? I'm ready. I've never been so ready. I was ready the day I was born. Okay, let's just test the damn thing. Okay, here we go. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. Come on, baby. 43.2, and we'll hit the hold button here. There you go. So that didn't take too long considering the size of this capacitor. It's a big one. It took what, 6-7 seconds? Yeah, that's pretty good. And remember, this goes up to 100 millifarad. So yeah, love it. Love it. Now we got a smaller cap here. We got a 10,000 microfarad. So let's just try this. Now once you can see this hold, just your typical El Cheapo hold, nothing fancy, nothing schmancy. You gotta press the hold when you're actually doing the reading. It's not a touch hold, nothing, you know, over the top. Like you get in your more expensive meters like the Hyokis and the Flukes and some of the other big brands. Okay, so here we go. Let's see how fast this can hit 10,000 microfarad. Here we go, line her up. Whoops. 3, 2, 1. Yeah! And we're gonna go 3 seconds, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 seconds again. 9.6, so they are spot on. Now I'm just, you know, being silly willy worrying about how long it takes. I mean, 7 seconds for, you know, 10,000 microfarad? Nothing wrong with that, Jack. So, good stuff. Good stuff, MESTEK. Awesome. And you know what? Let's just keep it going. Let's keep it rolling, folks. Let's keep it live. Let's keep it real. That's right. This is 100 mega ohm resistor. So we're going to go back into resistance mode. Let's see how she does. Okay, here we go. 100 mega ohm coming up. 100 mega ohm coming up. 99.7. Now this is 1% variable on these resistors. They're high precision, so yeah, that is well within spec. And look at that, no issues, no problems. Gotta love these high range meters. Awesome, good job. Like I said, we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna take out this old, but nonetheless lovely Fluke demo board. One of my favorites. And we'll just do a few more measurements quickly. This is stay in resistance mode. This is a 0.5 ohm, 5% resistor. Right on, spot on, gotta love it. Here we have a 22 mega ohm, 5% resistor. Awesome, awesome. Well within spec and nice and fast. Let's go back to capacitance. Okay, here we have a 3.3 microfarad, 10%. Survey says 3. Pretty close, pretty good. And finally, we have a tiny 0.01 microfarad. How are we going to do with this one? 10 nanofarad, so pretty darn close. Yeah, that's good. You know, we've got a good set of ranges here for resistance and capacitance. I'm liking it. Good job. It's continuity time, folks. Yeah. Here we go. You ready? What's it going to sound like? What's it going to look like? I don't know, but I'm excited. Okay. Oh, okay. I got to pull the camera back a little bit here for you guys so you can get a visual on this one. So yeah, we do have a visual. Nice green LED. But it's slow as molasses. Damn. Make me sad. Make me so sad. Yeah, it's just not fast enough. So, you know, if you've got a PCB and you're checking, you know, these traces and you're just taking your probe basically and you're going right down there like that, like I like to do. I don't like to mess around, right? you'll miss the short, you'll miss whatever with this sort of slow latching continuity. Just not fast enough. But you know what? We'll try another set of probes, see if it makes a difference. Okay, this is another good set of cheap probes. Let's see if this makes a difference. No, still slow. Honestly, no difference at all compared to the first set of probes. Let's try one more. All right, this is the last set. Probe Masters, one of the best. Here we go. Oh my God. How can that be? It almost seems slower than the cheap set of probes. So yeah, definitely not a probe issue. Slow continuity. No good. Alrighty, next up is diode mode. And according to the manual, yeah, that's right, it says open circuit voltage about 3.3 volts. What do you think? Are they telling us the truth? Let's see. Oh yes, according to our beautiful old Sperry, looking around 3.24 volts as the out voltage in diode mode on that MESTEK. So, okay. Sounds about right. Now, how good is it really? Let's see. Let's test these LEDs. Are they going to light up? I think so. Here we go. Reverse the leads. Boom, no problems there. Forward voltage drop, 1.8 volts. Boom, no problems there. Mr. Yellow, 1.8. So far, so good with the green. So we're getting the illuminated LEDs as well as the forward voltage drop indication, which is nice. Sometimes the LEDs light up, but you get no verbose display in terms of the actual voltage. Here we're getting both. Love it. Okay, down to the white. 2.6 volts. Looking good. Finally, the blue. 2.5, 2.6. Yep, spot on. And it lights it up, no problems. So if you test a lot of LEDs, you'll be quite happy with the MESTEK DM91A. Already we have the decade resistance box out, and right now we're sitting at 1 mega ohm. And as you can see, pretty well spot on the money. Okay, let's bring it up a bit. 2 mega ohm, no problem. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, nice and fast. It settles really quickly. Let's try 5.9. Yeah, no issues there. 5.99. Pretty well spot on. Yep. So quick to settle. Pretty spot on. No issues at all in terms of resistance. Awesome. Good job. Now this MESTEK also has a special battery feature. So if we have a 1.5 volt or 9 volt battery, it will put a slight load on the battery just to give you a good indicator of whether or not this battery is going to last. So what we'll do just to test this out, we'll take our Duracell sitting right here, and I will first test it on the regular voltage mode and see what we get. So 1.53 volts, 1.53. So let's set it now to the battery mode in the 1.5 volt scale. Here we go, 1.4. So yeah, from 1.5 to 1.4 with that load on it. So this battery is obviously still in really good shape. This also has the NCV non-contact voltage detection. I think it's a gimmick, but what the heck? Let's try it out. So simply what you do, I will actually remove the probes first. Take the meter, put it in NCV mode, and you put it up to a power source. And yeah. So, you know, I mean, is that useful? I don't think so, to be quite honest. It's not very, you know, I will admit there's the odd meter that actually seems to work quite well, functionality-wise, but I don't see anything too great about the NCV mode with this MESTEK. Also, it has something called live voltage. So there you go. We'll put it in the live voltage setting. Okay, now we're going to try the live feature. We are in live mode. So what's supposed to happen is you have a power source, something you can probe. You put your positive probe into the positive terminal. Take it out and you want to see, do I have power? Let's say we don't have a light on, right? Do I have power? Don't I have power? Let me probe and find out. No power. Oh, no power. I've got no power. Oh my gosh. Well, guess what? Yeah, we have power. we have power, but it ain't showing up on the meter. Why? Check this out. Actually, I have to hold down, and now it's coming up as live. So we have a really loose connector, but the thing is, it's not loose. It's in there really good, okay? It ain't loose, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't work very well. So kind of dangerous. Yeah, I really wouldn't trust my life with this. So as you can see, we have 120 volts here, but according to the MESTEK, we have nothing. If I hold down on it, then it's coming in as live. So yeah, crap, no good. This feature, don't bother using it. Okay, so right now we are in AC mode. Now, if we select the VFC function, we hold down on that switch, you'll see the VFC icon come up on the display. Now, what the heck is that supposed to mean? They're saying it's variable frequency voltage measurement. Well, I'm not seeing frequency on this display. However, if I hit down the frequency switch, yes indeed, there's our frequency. But you know, I can do the same thing without selecting VFC mode. So I am, at this point in time, a little unsure as to what this VFC is actually good for. So at this point, it is a mystery as to really what sort of functionality or purpose the VFC mode is serving. If it's just about displaying frequency, well, I can do that without selecting VFC. Anyway, we're not going to discuss this quagmire anymore. If I do hear back from MESTEK, I will let you guys know. But in the meantime, it's sort of a gray question mark. Hey, maybe the button should be gray instead of blue. Last feature today I wanted to look at, something kind of unique, something you don't usually see on a cheaper multimeter, and that is the fact that it plays chess. No, I'm just kidding, sorry. No, what's neat about this meter is that it has fuse protection. So if your fuse blows and you're not aware of it, it will let you know. That's a good thing. Just to give you a demonstration, I have removed the fuse inside the meter, and you can see, as soon as you switch it, this fuse was dead on the milliamp range. So from microamps, milliamps, you get the fuse warning. The fuse on the current range is still good, and that's why it's no longer beeping. But on the milliamp range, it is dead, and you get that nice verbose alert. So that's a cool feature. I like it. I think it's an implementation that should be on more meters, and kudos to MESTEK for putting it on such a cheap multimeter. Okay, here we are on the inside of the MESTEK, and let's start at the bottom. We're actually at the top, so let's go downstairs, and we can see the jacks, the input jacks themselves are of the split variety. Now the soldering itself is kind of iffy, kind of messy as well, a lot of flux, residue and crap here, and yeah, just overall I'm not too impressed with the soldering job. You know, I don't mind these split connectors, but when I see them, I sort of want to see a really good high quality soldering job. Anyway, we've got one lonely PTC here as well. This is the fuse. This is on the current side. And here, as you can see, we don't have your standard current shunt. They've replaced it with a shunt resistor. And I talked about this in a couple of other videos. Becoming more commonplace, especially with these cheapy multimeters, and has the same effect. And from what I hear, they work quite well. So it does save up some space on the PCB. What else do we have? We have a diode clamping going on here, resistor array upstairs here, and if I just bring this baby down a little bit, there is our other fuse on the milliamp range here, and both of these fuses are properly rated. They are the ceramic variety. They're not HRC, but they are at least not the totally cheap glass fuses, which you see on a lot of the low-end meters these days. Moving up a notch, this is the connector to the battery terminal on the other side of the meter. That's what feeds the entire display take it up here a little bit, and what do we see? Transducer, piezo, speaker, whatever you want to call it, right here. Not a bad one, actually. It's fairly loud. No complaints in that department. We have a crystal oscillator here. And look at that. This IC is not cobbed. And what is it? Oh, of course, it's DreamTech International DTM0660. Very, very popular IC. Extremely popular. Microcontroller. It does all the analog to digital conversion. Drives the LCD display. And all of the data for this IC, all the config data is stored in an external EEPROM. And that external EEPROM is right here. So all of the new NCs for this meter are programmed into this EEPROM. Stores all of the config information like one big config file for the main microcontroller. And this is a T24 variety. It's a 2 kilobyte, I believe, EEPROM. And, you know, once again, this is so frequent that they use this combination. That usually, if you can't see the IC, if it's cobbed out, but you can see this EEPROM, the T24, chances are that it's running the DreamTech International IC. That's just how common these are in multimeters today. So, no complaints here. Great microcontroller. Great EEPROM. Nothing to complain about. This is the LED for the flashlight. And the ever so pathetic NCV is right here. We do have a filament. Surprising, I thought, you know, with how poorly it performed, I thought maybe this would have been a wire. But no, it's actually a metal filament. But yeah, this is one of the worst performing NCVs I have yet to experience on a cheap meter. So that's a little unusual. This is a true RMS display. The true RMS is on board. It does not have a separate microcontroller for this feature. Here are a couple more wires. Very thin gauge. That's for the LCD display light. And well, that's pretty well lit, folks. Not a whole lot else going on. Your standard SMD stuff on board. So generally speaking, you know, it's clean. No complaints, except for the input jacks themselves. That was sloppily done. We have a data manufacturer over here, August 5th, 2018. So as you can tell, it is a new multimeter. Alrighty, there we have our input protection and the insides. I'm going to put it back together and I'll come back with my closing thoughts. Closing thoughts on the MESTEK DM91. Well, it is truly a mixed bag. I really wanted to like this multimeter a whole bunch. Fortunately, it's missing some stuff. It needs some refining. And there's this ever so interesting VFC mode, which just doesn't make any sense. That being said, you do get a lot of bang for the buck. And I do like the fact that MESTEK is trying to push the envelope by really bringing up those ranges. 100 millifarad, 100 megohm, that is awesome. Input protection wise, yes, it's not the greatest thing out there. It's certainly no fluke, but it is a cheap multimeter. This cost me approximately $14–15 Canadian. You're looking at around $12 US. That's a lot of bang for your proverbial buck. Pretty well made, decent looking meter. Yeah, it's not the greatest in terms of functionality, but it does offer a lot. I'm going to give the MESTEK DM91 a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Please subscribe. And remember, as always, keep on testing.